This video is sponsored by Growtherapy. How could I ever be insecure? God, needy, that's a joke. I was the snowflake queen.
Yeah, 2 years ago when you were socially relevant.
I'm still socially relevant.
And when you didn't need laxatives to stay skinny. I am going to eat your soul and shit it out, West Mickey!
Happy motherfucking Halloween. You already know what the fuck going on. Woo, let me calm down. Okay, mysterious. But yeah, no, happy Halloween to the divas, to the dolls, to the girls, to the gays, to the boys, to the bros, to the days, to the everybody. Happy Halloween, everybody. You know, I am very excited, right? Because this is the best month of the year. Like, what is we talking about? And, you know, although it's not October, the specific day that I am filming this, I will be posting this on October 6th. And do you know what October 6th is? Want to take a guess? October 6th was when I posted my very first video. Do I like that video? Yes. Do I wish that I could redo that video? Well, yes. I'm gonna keep it real. It was really up until my sleepaway camp video that I really started to find a pace with the plot breakdowns. Like every now and then I would like look back at one of my old ones or have it on in the background and I'm like, wow, he's talking so slow. I don't know how y'all got through those because I'm like, and then, you know, the editing style, I mean, it's pretty much the same editing style. It's just a little bit slow. It's not as tight as it is now, no. But yeah, no, my first video was on the Oscar-winning, critically acclaimed feature called Catwoman. Have you seen it? On a serious note, though, I will keep this short. Words cannot explain how grateful I am to be doing this full time. I have not had a job since March 2024 when I was let go from a retail job. You know, I spent like 6 years figuring out, I was on unemployment and I was, you know, trying to figure out what I wanted. Well, I know what I want to do my entire life. I want to be a filmmaker, but as far as just getting bills paid, and I kind of felt like there was this creative drought in my life. And I had a microphone, I had a MacBook, I had tripods, lights, all that. And I had bought all of that maybe a year before then because I had planned on making a short film. But there was a little bit of drama with some friends and I was lied to. So that didn't happen, but it's all good. God's timing is always right. The universe's timing is always right. And I feel the love from above and from you guys. I don't even know where I'm at. I think I'm a little bit over like 55,000 right now. 55K in a year is bananas. There are, I was about to say millions. I don't think that's right. There are thousands of channels on this platform. People who have been doing this for years and they are just breaking in like 1,000. To get monetized on YouTube, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and you have to have, I think it's 4,000 hours of watch time. And somehow I hit that within like a month and I had gotten the email from YouTube that my channel was monetized. Only it was up until, what was my fourth video, which was the Final Boy video. I had only like 4 or 5 videos on my channel and I had gotten monetized. That does not happen. That was crazy. But yeah, no, this has been so much fun. Like I said, all of you who tune into my black ass and my monotone deep voice yapping about cinema, you are the reason that I do this and I thank you for being here. Jennifer's Body is a 2009 black comedy horror written by Diablo Cody and directed by Karen Kusama. The film stars Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried, Johnny Simmons, J.K. Simmons, and Adam Brody. On a 16 $15 million budget, the film grossed a disappointing $31.5 million worldwide. And although it made its money back, you gotta factor in the distribution and marketing, which pretty much swallowed most of that profit, deeming it a flop by the industry. This film is a fabulous example of a cult classic, you know, completely misunderstood upon its release and having a breath of life later on down the line, primarily with people of my generation, Gen Z. If you're not familiar with the lore behind this film, take a look at the film's title, Jennifer's Body. Look at all the pics of Megan Fox on the poster, look at the trailer. You know, this was all marketed towards teenage boys with a promise to see Megan Fox naked, and that's not what you get. It's not what you get. This film is queer, it's satirical, and it's extremely feminist. Like, come on, a cheerleader gets possessed by a demon and only eats boys. The metaphors are right there. So pack some Vagisil, maybe a puffer, grab your favorite childhood Barbies, and if you're a boy, I'd consider carrying around some pink spray, because we're going to a little town called Devil's Kettle. Before we get into eating boys and the messy situationship between Needy and Jennifer, let's talk about something that a lot of people like to ignore: taking care of our mental health. When it comes to finding a therapist, it shouldn't feel like an endless horror movie. No jump scares with high prices, no anxious waiting, and that's why I've decided to partner with growtherapy. With Grow, you can filter by insurance, identity, and specialty to actually find a therapist who feels like the right match for you. Therapy is about directing your feelings, not dumping them, noticing patterns, connecting dots, breaking these toxic cycles. You know, these are tools, seeds that are planted to rewire your brain, to make your life as balanced as possible. Grow's sessions are affordable, averaging around $21 with some as low as $0, depending on your insurance. And you can choose between virtual or in-person options so therapy can fit into your life. To learn more about Grow Therapy and begin your journey, head to the link in my description or scan the QR code on the screen and find the right therapist for you. Much thanks to Grow Therapy for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to Jennifer's Body. The film opens on a POV sweeping shot towards a suburban house, where inside, a dirty little girl is laying in bed scratching, licking her greasy hair, skin dried out. I'm scared already. We get a beautifully animated cursive title card and meet Jennifer, not the punk rock girl boy bands hung above her bed. Jennifer, expected you to have better taste than this. Since she doesn't want to wait her turn, let me introduce Needy, Jennifer's best friend. Jennifer turns to look out the window because she can feel somebody there, but she's already gone. In present day, Needy is locked up. 12 got her, y'all. Mama gets all kinds of gifts and fan mail, mostly from perverts and chesters, but that's not the point, okay? Famous fame. Ask Jill Roberts.
I don't need friends. I need fans.
I'm kind of the shit.
Yeah, pretty much. You'll see why. While revealing scars all over her body, she tells us she also gets letters from people who are praying for her and tell her everything is going to be okay if she accepts Jesus Christ into her heart. By her glamorous window, she's got a framed picture of a boy. This is Chip. We reside at Leech Lake Correctional Facility and see our protagonist's full name, Anita Needy Lesnicki. Needy has been marked on file with having hallucinations, uncontrollable fits, and she has put several orderlies in the hospital. This is right before she tells us that she's a kicker. One of the docs approaches, making a comment about her only lunch being a single slice of toast. The doc says she's not sure a toastum can provide sufficient energy during the day.
I recommend more complex carbohydrates.
I recommend you shut the f*** up.
They throw her in isolation as Needy tells us she wasn't always this cracked. She used to be like other girls. But it's when the killings began that she started to feel, I don't know, loose around the edges or something. For whatever reason and consolidatory confinement, there is a speaker and they are playing the instrumental of a song that we are going to become very familiar with. Our story is set in a town called Devil's Kettle. Which sounds very twisted actually, but it's just a waterfall. But it's not a normal waterfall. eyeball. It goes into a hole and it doesn't come out. Scientists have dropped all kinds of things down there, but nothing ever surfaces. Maybe it's another dimension, or maybe it's just really deep. Only 2 months ago, Needy, Jennifer, and Chip were completely normal people. Chip was a band member, Needy was just a simple gal, and Jennifer was a cheerleader. A lot of people in their school questioned why two girls like this would be best friends because, you know, Needy, her hair is pinned up and she wears glasses, so she's a dork. And here we have Jenny from the kettle, who is, you know, this smoking hot bombshell, right? Her classmate Chastity is like, you're totally lesbi gay. And Needy is like, she's just my best friend. Calm down. Not too much, Miss Pixie Cut Bob. So Diablo Cody is very well known for her, how do I say this? Unserious dialogue. This is not even a read, but low-key she writes like a kind of like a YA novel. The characters say very out of pocket and very random things. If you have seen Juno, which was her blow up, that was her first picture, I believe, then you know that quirky dark humor. It's so random. I like it, but to some people it can kind of throw them off a little bit.
I'm on a stat. What's up, Vagisil?
It's kind of like that. Jennifer tells Needy that the both of them are going out tonight because there's an indie rock band called Low Shoulder from the city who are coming to Melody Lane. And Jennifer saw their MySpace page. Yeah, you heard me right. I mean, what a time capsule. This girl is like, and the lead singer is extra salty. But what gets me is at the end she adds, plus there will be lots of other salty morsels there for you. Cause what do you mean by that? Needy tells her she promised Chip she'd hang with him and Jen says, boo, cross out Needy. And that is a phrase that the girls recurring, that will come back many times. Anyway, Needy caves.
Wear something cute, okay? Okay.
Now, in Jennifer speak, wear something cute meant don't look like a zero, but don't upstage her either. Easy, right? Needy could expose her stomach, but not her cleavage, because tits were Jennifer's trademark. Chip is also in the room with her, and when he asks which member of Low Shoulder Jen is stalking, Needy says the lead singer, because she would never go out with some drummer boy. Remember, Chip is a drummer in the marching band. But then Needy is like, you know, Jennifer would honestly probably make an exception for him if he was a drummer and a singer. We also learn the definition of being salty in this scene, which just means that you're beautiful. And Chip is like, well, baby, you must be soy sauce. Ah ha ha ha. Yikes. I mean, damn, the girl gives her boyfriend 2 kisses and he's already taken his belt off. Go read the Bible. He gets no guac guac nitro rocket sucker 3000 because Jennifer is here and she's yelling for Needy to stop tampooning herself. When Needy tells Chip that she better hurry up before Jennifer gets annoyed, Chip points out how she always does what Jennifer wants her to do. But Needy is like, no, it's just that she likes the same things that Jennifer likes. They have stuff in common and that's why they're biffs. Love Jennifer's outfit. It's so recognizable. She says hi to Chip in one of the film's most popular lines.
It smells like Thai food in here. Have you guys been
And Needy is like, you're so gross. And then Jen's like, you're so gross. And then they go back and forth until...
so gross. Fuck you.
Jen's like, anyways, let's go to the club. And Chip says that Melody Lane is not a club. It's a disgusting bar filled with men in mustaches. And when the girls walk out, Jen is like, eat my ass, Chip. You're just jello because you weren't invited. But specifically lime green jello. She's like, you're lime green jello and you can't even admit it to yourself. It's so random. And for whatever reason, out of every single line in this movie, that is a quote that I use a lot. That is, for whatever reason, just stuck inside of my head. It's such a throwaway line, but no, it's kind of real. Like, I'm sorry, green is like the lime green is the worst flavor. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. This Melody Lane club is an absolute dump. Chip didn't tell any lies, my friends. We get a short cameo from screenwriter Diablo Cody before seeing gross imagery of the building's grotesque bathroom plastered with stickers on the toilet. And when the girls get inside, they get cross marks on their hands for being minors. A classmate named Craig hollers at Jennifer and she turns to Needy saying he thinks he's cute enough for me and that's why he's in Riri math. And I think we know what Riri means. Not gonna say that word. Needy sees a kid named Ahmet who is a foreign exchange student from India and Jennifer wonders if he's circumcised.
I always want to try sea cucumber. Ew.
She's about to light up a cancer stick until a cop takes it out her mouth. This is Roman, who's in the police academy, and who Jennifer is also screwing. Low Shoulder starts setting up, and the only one here who matters is the lead singer, Nikolai. All of Jennifer's interactions with, I can't even say the band because it's specifically Nikolai, but all of her interactions with him are so funny. She is actually giving a very comedic performance here. Jennifer says the band looks like they need 2 groupies, so she tries to pull Needy away, saying they hold all the power. These things are like smart bombs. You point them in the right direction and shit gets real. So she goes up to them and introduces herself.
Hi.
Hi.
Like, girl, relax. He's literally just a man wearing eyeliner. Calm down. The thing is, she introduces herself. She says her first and her last name. And then she's like, and this is my friend. Huh? Damn, can't even say the girl's first name. It tells you everything. Nikolai throws the introduction back at her, only introducing himself and calling his band just some guys. It's all over this girl's face. She's in a trance. And Needy asks an incredibly logical question, which is, why would y'all want to play all the way out here in Devil's Kettle? And okay, this band is indie. Y'all came all the way out to this small town in this tiny bar filled with people who are between the ages of 30 and 45, 50? Nikolai pulls an answer out his ass saying,
Yeah, but you know, I think it's really important sometimes to try and connect with our fans in the shitty areas too.
Fans. And Jenny is all smiles, saying, that's amazing. I'm telling you, this girl is in a trance.
Can I buy you a drink?
When Jen walks away to play Hello Titty with the bartender, Nikolai turns to one of his bros, Dirk.
Dirk, what about her?
Nikolai basically thinks that Jennifer is a virgin, saying that, I grew up in towns like this. She's one of those hot, pretty girls who likes to show it all but never give it up. In a split diopter shot, Needy can somehow hear every word from these emos, even though they're in a bar and music is playing, and the boys aren't even talking loud, but whatever. She goes up to Nikolai like, that's my best friend you're talking about, and you're right, she is a virgin, and that beats sleeping with creeps like you. He says nothing back but smiles at Dirk. This script is so... After Needy tells Jennifer what the boys were talking about, she's like, what? I'm not even a backdoor virgin anymore. Thanks to Roman, which hurts, by the way. I had to skip flags the next day and sit on a bag of frozen peas. Low Shoulder begins playing the anthem we will hear a million times throughout this film, so you better get used to it. Through the trees, I will find you. Something, I'm still here breathing now. Hate to say it, but we have a bippity bop on our hands. There's a point when Jennifer grabs Needy's hand before shortly letting it go. And that's when a flame magically ignites. Like some Final Destination shit. It starts traveling up a column along the board and burns a flag. The band completely stops playing, and look at Nikolai's face. Cut the cameras. I don't know what kind of wizardry, what kind of magician magic shit y'all got going on, but no, we ain't doing this. There are people burning to death. A woman is getting stomped. Ahmet is crushed with a burning pile of wood. Everything happens so freaking quick, but of course Jennifer is still in her trance, and Needy activates Final Girl mode, yanking Jennifer to the bathroom where they escape through a small window. Needy can still see burning people running out the building as she's trying to get her best friend to come back to reality. And also, let me say this, how did the band get out? Was there some magical secret back door that y'all conjured up? Nikolai summons, saying, oh, thank God, you guys are all right. I've been looking everywhere for you two.
Listen, it's looking dangerous out here. You want to head someplace safer, like my van?
What?
He gives Jennifer some of his drink, encouraging her to chug, and pulls her away. Now, this is my problem with this scene. It's not like the girls are stranded here. They drove. Jennifer would have had to run me them car keys. Yeah, since she's still in her little trance, I would have been like, bitch, give me them keys, and I'm driving. Like, you have lost your cotton picking mind if you think I'm gonna let my best friend hop in this van with this mysterious ass upcoming alternative band band who, for whatever reason, decided to play in this small town called Devil's Kettle. The lead singer has a goddamn moon tattoo on his neck. Matter of fact, every single member of the band, this was confirmed, every member of the band has a damn crescent tattoo. And on top of all of this, she heard them talking about Jennifer being a virgin. Needy, why? What are we doing? What are we doing? Don't piss me off right now. Like, you were doing so good. You know, you had activated final girl mode, but I need you to pull a little more and to put the foot down. Slim, I don't even care if I would have had to drag Shorty by the scalp. I don't care if she started hitting me. We can box. We can fight in the dirt lot, but guess what? You still gonna get your ass in your mama's 2003 Chrysler Sebring. So yes, Needy lets her alleged best friend get inside these demonic twinks van. I'm at a loss for words, folks. When she gets home, she immediately calls Chip, telling him everything, and she starts crying. But Chip is more concerned with the burning bodies rather than the mascara wearing devil worshippers.
Cheese and fries, there's somebody here.
Cheese and fries is crazy. Needy asks Chip to stay on the phone with her going downstairs, but there's no one at the door. But behind her, we see a shadow moving in the kitchen. She tells Chip she'll call him later and starts to head back upstairs. Like, your doorbell rang and there was no one there. No, grab a weapon and protect the fort. Needy checks under the stairs. Empty. Will there be something behind the door? Nope, and oh look, just a dripping pipe. Oh my god! Jen, you okay, girl? You need to go to a hospital? Jennifer stands drenched in blood as Needy asks what happened, and all Miss Check does is give her a slow, bloody smile. She rushes to the fridge, taking out Needy's mother's Boston market chicken, stuffing her face. I am so confused right now.
People, step lively!
Jennifer vomits out black tar with spikes in it, giggling, and Needy runs to her phone, but Jen knocks her against the wall and asks,
Are you scared?
It looks like she's about to take a chunk out of Hannah Montana's neck, but she backs away and leaves. Rumors are floating around about Melody Lane, and we see this blonde chick say, Needy and Jennifer had to fight their way out with a machete. And when the other girl says, oh my god, she's not even moving, the blonde girl is like, yeah, it's called post-traumatic stress disorder. Needy has a brief flashback of her and Jennifer as kids playing with dolls, where Jen plays as the pretty doll and makes Needy play as ugly Ashley. And for this behavior, God makes Jen get picked by a pen, deserving. But Needy, being the nurturing queen she is, sucks her blood. It's gross, but they're kids. Kids do this. And Jen's like, don't tell anyone or my mom will make me get a shot. I'll never tell on you, young Needy says. Jennifer wakes her from her daydream, showered, wearing yellow, skin like living marble, brand new chick. And Needy reminds this wench that people died last night, Jennifer. And she's like, well, it sucks to be them, I guess.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, besides the obvious surface flaws?
Okay. Uh-oh. Now see, listen, you guys, wait a minute. Hold on, Brandy. Let me say this. Tammy.
Yeah, I would have gave it to Shorty right there. This girl spent all night crying and scrubbing Jenny's nasty ass demonic tar off her kitchen floor and ain't even get an apology. Like, damn. Their teacher, whose name I cannot be bothered to continuously pronounce throughout this video, so we will call him Mr. Rob, tells everyone that they lost 8 students last night and one of them was Ahmet. Jennifer, of course, thinks that this is funny. Needy tells Chip that Jen was the one who came to her house last night looking toe up, like she had been shot or something, and puking sewing needle roadkill. Chip says that she probably just inhaled a bunch of smoke, but Needy is like, no, this was like evil. And you know what this loving, understanding boyfriend says? He tells Needy to talk to the school shrink because everybody's a little sensitive right now. That's when we meet Colin.
Because tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Who says to Needy, I heard heard you were in the fiery trenches, and I'm glad you didn't die. Chip is confusion that Needy is friends with Colin Gray because he only talks to dead girls, but Needy and Colin have creative nonfiction together. She's like, he's a really good writer, and he's like all dark and emotional and stuff. What? What? Random ass screamo music starts playing while we fly across the football field to a jock named Jonas. Jennifer is casually walking towards him, popping besides him on his opposite side. This bitch is teleporting. She tells Jonas, I'm crazy sorry about your profound loss. Profound, huh? So Craig, the guy who was trying to holler at Jennifer at Melody Lane, is Jonas's best friend. And Jennifer tells him that she was in the bar last night and was the last person to talk to Craig, like, ever.
Craig said that he always thought you and me would make a totally banging couple. That's so weird.
Boys are so simple because he falls for this. She tells Jonas to feel her broken heart and persuades him to follow her into the woods. A bunch of different animals start circling around them because they can feel exactly what's about to happen. She zips down her shirt and it almost seems like we're about to see Jennifer's body. You know, this is what all the boys came for. And the top comes all the way off, but no nipple action. Womp womp. She asks Jonas if he misses Craig because he's gonna be seeing his homie real soon. What do you mean, like, in heaven?
No.
Mr. Rob can hear Jonas screaming in the woods, telling the kids to let it all out. But then the scream is abruptly cut. Needy is making a sad bologna sandwich, listening to the radio where the host is saying how Low Shoulder helped a bunch of people escape the scorching inferno, risking their own lives in the process. And they're even in the studio with him being interviewed. And Nikolai says, yeah, we're maintaining, but we're not the heroes here. Because the real heroes are the people of Devil's Lake. And we hope to bring that bravery to our upcoming album. Mr. Rob walks into the woods, through the trees, if you will, and finds a deer snacking on Jonas's corpse. Jonas's mother is on her knees crying as the paramedics collect his body, and Jennifer Check takes a steamy swim in the lake to rinse off the mess. Once again, in a scene that reminds you of this film's title. It's so, I love it. I love it because I know those boys were so pissed. They were like, where are the titties, bro? That night, Jen calls Needy, telling her how scrumptious she feels. And Needy's like, oh, that's good for you, baby, but I'm still depressed from all these burning bodies I witnessed in the bar. Blah, blah, blah. Jennifer tells her to get over it because life is too short to be moping around some white trash pig roast. This girl is so out of touch. I mean, basically admitting to only calling Needy to just boost her self-esteem up because, you know, she's having the best day since like Jesus invented the calendar. Needy gets another call and tells her to hold on, so Jennifer says, pooh, I'm crossing you out. It's Lay's Chips, who needs to speak to his shawty, and he's got flashing lights outside his window. And this is where we get the film's most famous visual, where Jennifer takes a lighter, burning the tip of her tongue, and watches it heal in a matter of seconds.
I am a god.
Needy's like, okay, girl. Yeah, anyway, I have to go because Chip wants to meet me. And just to get a reaction out of her, Jen starts saying how cute Chip has been looking to her lately, and asks if he's packing some serious pubic inches. And for what? Again, for the 30th time, this girl would have got cussed out. The way Needy runs up to Chip is taking me out. He tells her Jonas was ripped limb from limb and munched in the woods. So this can't be a coincidence, right? Happening right after the fire at the death trap bar, and now some cannibal psycho takes down the biggest guy in school. This is bananas. Chip, per usual, is in denial, saying things can't get any worse. Like, why would you say that? Needy sees him shaking, so she's like, do you want my hoodie? Reversing the gender roles here. You love to see it. This next shot is yet another legendary, I know that's not a word, but I love legendary shot where everybody in the hall is, you know, wearing black and gray. And then here we have Jennifer strutting like she's on a runway challenge on the 30th cycle of America's Next Top Model. God damn it, she looks good. She looks good. You know? The town's only bar lit up in flames, and their linebacker was a snack pack, and all around the country, the news and the media were eating it up because we know how much the media loves tragedies in small towns. These f***ing teenagers are softly singing through the... Oh, God. Singing through the trees with these damn candles with the party paper This is satire. Then they even set up a little memorial spot for Jonas, but all the flowers around him start deteriorating. Womp womp. A month later in Mr. Rob's class, he announces the anniversary of the Melody Lane tragedy.
Boring.
This used to be one of my favorite memes in my phone. I love this picture. Jennifer is, let's say she's starving. She's not eating. Mr. Rob tells the kids that Low Shoulder has lended a helping hand for the community, as we know that their song Through the Trees has become the town's unofficial anthem, and the band has decided to release it as a benefit single where 3% of the profits will go to local families who have been affected by the loss.
What about the other 97%? I mean, that's just crass, right?
Not 100, not 75, not 50%, not even 30, not even 13%, but 3%.
Crass. It means greedy, exploitative, scummy.
Chastity turns her clown ass around saying that Low Shoulder are American heroes. And Needy is like, I was there, and those twinks didn't help anybody escape the fire. A rumor? Rumor? It's true. It's on the Wikipedia. When the bell rings, Needy says to Jen, no offense, but you look really tired. Is everything okay? One of my top 3 favorite lines in this movie.
No, I feel like boo-boo.
Her skin is breaking out, her hair is dull and lifeless. It's like she's one of the normal girls. Jennifer says that she thinks it's just wearing off or something. Like, what do you mean I think it's just wearing off? What are you talking about? Well, we know what she's talking about, but eating boys just doesn't wear off. Colin summons, about to ask Jen out, but she beats him to the punch, telling him to hurry up and go with the pitch. How on brand that she stopped right in front of this banner that has the big word devil on it. Well, Colin says that since they have been having a lot of fun in class, he thought maybe she'd like to go see a midnight showing of Rocky Horror next weekend. Now that is a date right there. And speaking of Rocky Horror, your boy just did a video on it. Check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
I don't like boxing movies.
He's like, yeah, it, you goddamn Nimrod, and he walks away. Needy calls him nice, and Jen is like, he's into maggot rock and wears nail polish. My dick is bigger than his. And after Needy reiterates, she's like, well, I think he's really cool. Jennifer gets a little glimmer in her eye and completely changes her mind. She yells for Colin, telling him to come by her place tonight because she just got Aquamarine on DVD. The film about the girl who's like half sushi and she like has through her blowhole or something. So that's set, and immediately right after this girl turns around, she's all, hi Chip, in her soft voice, and Needy kisses him to distract him. Chip asks Needy if she's coming over tonight because he went to Super Target and picked up more condoms. MySpace, Super Target, 2009. That night, he sets up a light up Jammin' Jasmine for ambiance, and cue the rock and roll music, grrr. But the rock is actually coming from Colin's car, who's on his way to Jennifer's in this dark neighborhood full of abandoned houses. I want you to just take a second and put yourself in Colin's shoes. What would you do? See, you're on your way to your hookup, right? It could be from Tinder, from Bumble, Grindr, whatever. They send you the address and you go to the neighborhood and it looks like this. What would you do? Because I'm gonna tell you what I would do. I am taking my black ass and I'm turning around and I'm going home. I mean, dude, the front door is boarded. Come on, but anything for pussy, I guess. He hops through a window with plastic, calling her name out, goes upstairs where a crow flies by. It's so hard to feel bad for Colin for what's about to happen when red flag after red flag. But maybe he has a kink for danger. Maybe he has a kink for danger. Who am I to judge? Chip grabs his condom he bought from Super Target called Slippery Swirl, which is supposed to make it feel good for the girl.
Cool.
Jennifer set up this room with 100 candles and she's playing I Wanna Love You by Akon. Oh my god. When Colin asks if this is really her house, she says, no, this is our house where we can play mommy and daddy. She then tells Colin that she's been sending him signals all year because he gives her such a weddy. Jennifer's eyes change form and Colin is starting to get scared, backing up, accidentally stabbing himself. And Jen says, wow, a punctured wound. That's so emo. Before snapping his wrist, saying she needs him frightened and hopeless. Needy is hallucinating blood on the ceilings. Jonas is on the chair. Jennifer in the Catwoman pose, gasping for air, frightened. Okay, my girl is frightened. And then Chip over here think he think he doing something. Jennifer is showing off this 3-inch waist, having a Panic at the Chemical Fallout course meal. This is a great shot. Needy continues crying and Chip stops like, wait, what's wrong? Am I hurting you?
Am I too big?
We get an aftermath shot of Jen slurping on Colin's body before Needy rushes out of Chips. She sees Jennifer in the street, almost crashed the car. Mama is going through it. Just breathe, girl, okay? Come on. I want y'all to breathe with me. Inhale. Exhale. Needy whips that motherfucker zooming home, calling for her mother, but mommy is nowhere to be found. And I mean, at this point, just go to bed. You know, sleep it off.
Hi.
Needy screams at her to get out, but Jen reminds her how they always used to share the bed when they had slumber parties. And, trigger warning, it's about to get gay as hell. Needy notices Jennifer is wearing her Evil Dead t-shirt, and Jen doesn't bother responding, but she just starts kissing her, and Needy lets her. Jen pulls away, but then Needy is the one to continue crawling over top of her. Not gonna lie. They got me. Perhaps they got me. Shit is hot. This shit is hot. This is Both Amanda and Megan have went on record to say that they love shoot. Like, they both agree that they had fantastic chemistry. They were really attracted to one another. So, you know, if they like it, I love it. Needy leaps up like, what the F is happening? I saw you in the woods with blood all over you, and I'm gonna call the cops. But Jen reminds her she's got the cops in her back pocket. She is screwing a cadet after all. Jenny from the kettle is here to explain some things because besties don't keep secrets. And she brings up the night with a low shoulder and how she got really messed up. She's like, those low shoulder guys, totally evil. They're basically like agents of Satan with really awesome haircuts. In the van, Jen's asking where they're going, and Nikolai says, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. She can see a damn skull, this generic ass book about the occult world. Like, where did y'all get this shit from? TJ Maxx? Jennifer asks if these men are rapists, and Nikolai is like, oh my god, I hate girls. She starts crying, saying that she's a virgin. Like, I've never even done I don't know how, so y'all should find somebody who does know how. And when they arrive at the waterfall and open the door, she immediately tries to make a run for it, but Nikolai snatches her and points out the waxing moon, just like the ritual said. You can say whatever you want about Megan Fox's acting, but this entire sequence, she was selling it. They tie Jennifer down, light a torch, and Dirk is like, bro, I don't know if we should go through with this, guys. But Nikolai has to get him together, asking if he wants to keep working at the Moose Hoof Coffee forever, because he doesn't.
You want to be a big loser, or do you want to be rich and awesome like that guy from Maroon 5? Maroon 5.
They printed out a sacrificial instruction manual that Nikolai found online, and he starts taking the gag out of Jennifer's mouth, asking for her name, and she gives it to them. I would have been like, my name is Sandy. She's crying and begging them not to do this. She'll do anything they want. And Nikki puts the ritual in his back pocket, asking Jen if she knows just how hard it is to make it in an indie band these days. You know, there's so many of them, and they're all so cute, and it's like, if you don't get on Letterman or some Riri soundtrack, you're screwed, and Satan is their only hope. They gotta make a really big impression on him, so sadly they're gonna have to butcher and bleed her. Nikolai even suggests that maybe they could write a song about her as a fan. That would be cool. He pulls out a Bowie knife about to stabby, but stops to start singing Tommy Tatone's 8675309. Jenny, I got your number.
Jenny, don't change your number.
Needy is damn near crying. She's like, you died? And Jennifer's like, girl, I'm still here, aren't I?
I'm still here.
Ready to fucking die?
Yeah, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
After Jennifer dies, Nikolai tosses the Bowie knife into the sinkhole. She says she doesn't remember anything except waking up and finding her way to Needy, but she couldn't bring herself to hurt her best friend. and she was so hungry. So while walking down the street, she saw Ahmet from India, who somehow survived the bar fire after a large plank fell on top of him, but okay, whatever. And after asking him if anyone knows he's alive and getting a shaking head, she takes his hand and guides him to the woods to sort all of this out. And ever since then, Jennifer knew what she had to do to survive. And when she's full, like she is right now, she is unkillable. Needy starts asking what she meant by being full, and why was she covered in blood on top of her mother's Kia, like she didn't even look human. I want answers. And Jen tries to gaslight her by saying, you know, Needy, you should talk to somebody about all these disturbing thoughts.
We're all really concerned, especially Chip.
Once again, bringing up Chip, like, keep my boyfriend's name out your fucking mouth. So Needy tells her to leave, and she's like, no, let me stay the night. We can play boyfriend and girlfriend. But no, skank. She said bounce. So Jennifer hops out the window. After attending Colin's funeral, Needy tells us that they did a big assembly for him at school and had to watch another presentation about curfews and the buddy system. The tickets are on sale for the spring formal themed Through the Trees. I hate it here, and Miss Diva has had enough, so she's decided to do some research. She goes to the library where we get a bunch of crossfades of ancient text, you know, classic, right, movie montage. And the first word that comes on screen is succubus. There are chapters in this book about offering a virgin to Satan, forever feeding on the flesh, destroying a demon, how demons are the weakest when they're hungry, but a blade to the heart is the shortest way to kill the beast. It ain't nothing special. The girls haven't spoken since the encounter in Needy's room. She's seeing hallucinations of Demon Jen in the hallway right before Chip lets her know that he just bought their formal tickets. She tells her boo-boo she can't go to the dance with him and starts showing him her discovery. Chip is like, Needy, I love you, okay? You're not just some girl that I made love to for 4 minutes the other night. She tells Chip that Jennifer is evil, and he's like, I know this, but she's not talking high school evil, like she's actually evil. When Needy tells Chip that she was in the occult section of their library, he says exactly what all of us were thinking. What the hell is an occult section doing in a high school library? She starts telling him about demonic transference and how the band tried to sacrifice Jen, but what they didn't know was that she hasn't been a virgin since like junior high. And if the human sacrifice is impure, the result may still be attained, but the demon will forever reside in the soul of the victim. So Miss Jenny from the kettle must forever, you know, she must feast on the flesh to sustain the demon. So I guess we're gonna have to kill her, y'all.
She's eating boys. They like make her really pretty and glowy, and her hair looks amazing.
She's telling him that this dance is going to be an all-you-can-eat boy buffet, but I'm gonna keep it. You know, I don't know why she's even bothering with this, because he does not listen to her. Everything else she has ever brought up to him in this movie, he just, you know, go talk to the string, go, save your breath. She tells Chip it's not safe for them to be together right now and begs him one last time not to go to the dance, but he just walks away. The night of the formal, everyone starts gearing up. Chip's mother gives him pink spray since there's a sicko out there who likes boys. Needy's mother puts her in what I'm guessing was her 80s prom dress. Then there's Jenny, whose hair is falling out. Poor baby. I really don't know why Chip's mother didn't drive him to the dance and let him walk alone with everything going on, but whatever. And as we suspect, Jennifer starts approaching him, saying that they need to talk about Needy. Pretty much she tells him that Needy's been acting strange because her and Colin were smushing. Then starts saying how much she cares about him and that four-eyed skank doesn't deserve him. And he falls for it, because that's what boys do. Low shoulder satanic ass comes out on stage at the formal, and I would have immediately left or threw the punch bowl at them. One or the other. These wenches are making out by the tree, and Jen's telling Chip to say that he's better than Needy. Insecure much? Needy starts feeling her lips, which means, I don't fucking know. I guess these girls are in sync or something. Honestly, whatever. Maybe Needy has... Find it. Maybe Needy has had powers this entire time. JWoww takes Chip to a luxe indoor pool so he can show her his breaststroke. Needy is sprinting in their direction because her powers are telling her exactly where they are. JWoww trying to kiss Chip some more, but then he's like, LOL, nah homie, this just feels weird. So she throws him in the pool, tossing him around. Needy finds Lay's Chip's flower, sprinting to the luxe pool house, crawls inside through the window and sees Jennifer snacking on her chips. You bitch!
Zane, Jude, patron saint of all causes, please give me the power to crush this bitch.
Nene leaps in the pool and drags Jennifer underwater. Chipmunk's neck is dripping red. Yeah, he's done for it. That's a lot of blood vibes. He tosses Nene his pink spray, which she sprays on JWoww. That's when J-Ho starts gagging before vomiting black tar and floats in the air. Chip is like, she can fly? But Needy says she's just hovering. It's not that impressive. This scene is filled with legendary lines, like legendary. Jennifer says, oh my god, do you have to undermine everything that I do? You're such a player hater.
You're a jerk. Wow, nice insult, Hannah Montana.
You know what, bitch? You were never a good friend. Even when we were little, you used to steal my toys and pour lemonade on my bed, and now I'm eating your boyfriend. See, at least I'm consistent. Needy reads this little girl for filth, saying she could have anybody on this planet. And out of all of them, you went for my bag of chips. So what's tea? Like, are you just that fucking insecure? Like, what the fuck is up, Jennifer? Like, step the fuck up, Jennifer. And I mean, these next lines, you know, there's a reason it was the intro. This is, ooh, I mean, she struck a nerve. Baby struck a nerve, didn't she? Jennifer is, you know, running her mouth saying, how could I ever be insecure? But, you know, I was a snowflake queen. Fuck is you talking about? And Needy is like, yeah, girl, 2 years ago when you were socially relevant, and then struck a nerve when she said, when you didn't need laxatives to stay skinny.
I am going to eat your soul and shit it out, Mickey!
Thought you only murdered boys.
I go both ways.
That's when Chip grabs a pole and stabs Jennifer through the stomach. She pulls it out like a gangsta and crawls out the window, too weak to fight. Needy comforts Chip on the ground, trying to use his inhaler on him, but he tells Needy, I'm going somewhere. And he believes he died before she even showed up, but woke up when he heard Needy's voice. Somebody should remake this, but instead of like getting a male actor for Chip, they should have a bag of like Lay's chips on the ground. They both say I love you, and Chip tells her she looks totally hot in her dress before dying. We find ourselves back at the beginning of the film. Jennifer's in her yearbook circling boys she'd like to eat for lunch. And this shit is so funny. After she turns out the lights and the TV, puts the book away, she turns over to go to sleep, right? Then Needy jumps through the window screaming like a goddamn ninja. She hops on Jennifer, choking her out like, best friends forever, huh? You killed my fucking boyfriend, you goddamn monster! You zom bitch! Jennifer munches on her shoulder and Needy opens her battle knife.
You know what this is for? It's for cutting boxes.
This completely went over my head as a child. JWoww is like, do you buy all your murder weapons at Home Depot? God, you're butch. Needy says cross out Jennifer and slices her stomach before Jennifer levitates both of them into the air. They keep swinging around and Needy's eyes land on Jennifer's BFF necklace, which neither of them have ever taken off, mind you, and she rips it. JWoww slips from Nene, falling in slow-mo onto the bed, and when Nene lands, she stabs her best friend square in the chest.
My head. No. Your heart.
The diva's color comes back as her mother walks in the room, cutting the lights on and seeing Needy overtop her dead daughter. What's so interesting is that the way that Needy barely reacts to this, she doesn't even bother making a run for it out the window. I mean, she already saw her face, so, you know, like, well, it is what it is. She just lays down next to Jennifer, dropping the knife, taking a sigh of relief like, oh, child, it's over. Like I said, Jennifer's color has completely came back to life. knife. The demon is gone. I love this outfit with the socks. This is a cute costume. Nene Leakes tells us in her last voiceover that she doesn't recognize who Needy Lesnicki is now. She uses curse words and kicks orderlies, sees things that aren't there. A very bad and damaged person, but sometimes change can be good. She also tells us that most occult scholars don't know this, but if you're bitten by a demon and you live, you just might absorb some of the demon's abilities. She's levitating in the air and floats higher up to a window that she kicks in and rips apart. Walking across the yard, stomping in these bunny slippers, she rips a metal fence and she's free, just like that. She crosses paths with the Bowie knife Nikolai used on Jennifer, and only a few hours later, she hitches a ride from an older fella headed east towards Madison. When the man asks why she's headed east, Needy says she's following a rock band.
Must be one hell of a group.
Tonight's gonna be their last show.
Period, Peach! Period!
So that was originally supposed to be the end of the film, like the pan up on the low shoulder sign, and then it goes off because I guess they wanted to leave it up to the audience's imagination. But the way that they actually did the post-credit scene, I love. It all plays out in paparazzi photographs and 2008 camcorders from the band itself. Low shoulder is out here signing titties, staying in a deluxe hotel, completely trashing it, cigarettes, alcohol everywhere, and they even go skiing. But only in a matter of seconds there's blood scattered everywhere, and now the pics we see are all taken by the forensics team. The bodies of all the band members lay lifeless around the suite, and of course it's only poetic for Nikolai to get the big Bowie knife right in the stomach. And in the final shot, we see security cam footage of screaming fans running to the van's hotel room, while Needy makes her way down the hall and looks up at the camera as it freezes, glitches, and goes out. There is no way to talk about this film and not bring up the complete hot garbage marketing misfire on the studio's behalf. As I said in the intro, this is such a fantastic example of a cult classic, but said it in the intro, but I'm gonna add something too. I'm gonna add something else too. I think that this film was ahead of its time, but when I say that, I don't mean ahead of its time as in the concept and the story of this was, never before seen or brand new. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about ahead of its time as in the world was not in the place to appreciate what this film had to offer. Even if the marketing was done right, let's keep it real, would the reception still have been the same? Obviously that can't be answered because it didn't happen, right? But we were nowhere near where we are politically in 2009. We know this. The way that Diablo Cody writes, the stylized, unserious one-liners and dialogue, it all fits so much better in today's meme culture and aesthetic, the Gen Z aesthetic. Like, this film was waiting for Letterboxd kids and TikTok stan edits to eat it up. There's a 35-minute conversation between Diablo Cody and Megan where they talk about the film, and this was back in September 2019. Diablo had admitted that for a long time she did not want to talk about this movie because of how much of a commercial failure it was, and 2009 was the early days of Twitter, so she had said that she would go on there and look her name up and see industry people like talking shit about her, basically. As we know, back in the early days of social media period, but especially Twitter, these public figures and celebrities did not give a damn what came out of their mouth. Like, I mean, look at Rihanna. Look at what Rihanna was doing back in the day. And she says she had to go to therapy for this. I mean, imagine writing a very feminist movie and the studio just recruits. We're talking about the test screenings before it came out. This fucking studio recruits a bunch of white 18 to 24-year-old frat boys.
I got a very memorable email from a marketing person at the studio once, where I had sent him this articulate defense of the film, and here's how it should be marketed. And I said, what specifically are you thinking? And he wrote back, Megan Fox hot, 3 words.
For putting a trailer together?
That
or
was
for marketing
in terms of
general?
In terms of what is the value of this film.
Okay.
So that should give you an idea of where they were going with it.
And then she said that they had given some of the boys these little cards that had questions on them. You know, what did you think about the movie? What could be improved? And she said she will never forget that one of them said, "Oh my God." One of the boys wrote on the card, "Needs more boobs." Spelled exactly like that.
I'ma smack one of you bitches.
Anyway, how perfect was it for Megan to play this role? I really cannot see anybody else playing this part. I feel like I say that a lot. It's true. And I mean, not only that, this movie is quite inseparable from the way that Megan was treated in the late 2000s. Diablo asked her where her head was during the time, and Megan admits that the scrutiny from the film was not at the top of her list because of the various other stuff going on in her life. She wasn't on social media, but she knew about tabloids and Perez Hilton's blog, etc. And even though you can't tell looking at her, she says that she is a very sensitive person. She begged a guy named Dan Dubecki to call Perez Hilton and tell him not to post the paparazzi pictures that were taken of her during the day that she filmed the lake scene. But of course they did anyway, and she was destroyed by it. You can say what you want. Being conventionally beautiful and having money does not block you from the world's problems. Now, it's not the end of the world. There's more going on, but this is so much bigger than her. This is women who are constantly being sexualized. Megan said that the criticism that she got for Jennifer's body was very much just a part of this entire mix and felt normal, that it didn't affect her that much, which is so sad and unfortunate to hear. Not even just her, but anybody. Like, nobody should feel that way. She was used to this behavior from every single producer that worked with her that just looked at her like, you know, a an object. Then she said that there was a moment where she genuinely felt that she had a psychotic breakdown. She didn't want to be seen. She didn't want pictures taken of her. She didn't want to go on the red carpet, no magazines, no nothing, because of fear of being mocked, the fear of being spat at, yelled at. People were saying she was a bad actress. She was too stupid, too offensive, too fat, too thin. Like, it's a waste. They called her a waste of space. It's like, oh my God, like the people in this world. I'm really just stumbling on my words here. Like, I don't. And another thing too is that you can say, even though I don't like people who say this, that, you know, she chose this lifestyle and that comes with it. Yes, but that I don't like that answer. I don't like that answer. There is an absolute difference between being criticized on your work and what you do versus, you know, criticized on your appearance and your character. People know nothing about you. She brings up the Me Too movement and how at the time she was speaking up, but everybody around her was saying that they didn't care, and they were saying that she deserved it because of how she looks, how she talks, how she dresses, etc. And I swear, when I was watching this, the girl read my mind, because she even said, like, what was I doing that was that bad or that provocative? Like, she really has not had a scandal. Literally, what has this girl been? And she was getting it from both men and women. What was she doing other than just being pretty? I don't know. I don't know. The scene where Low Shoulder sacrifices Jennifer, Megan said that she views very reflective of her relationship with the movie studios at that point. They were willing to do whatever to bleed her dry, disregarding her mental, her physical health, just as long as they got what they needed out of her. And it didn't matter how many times she spoke up and said, I'm hurting, this isn't right, I need somebody to protect me, this is going on. None of it mattered. Diablo Cody goes into her perspective a little bit about how she didn't write this film to be a big blockbuster hit, nor was she trying to conform to anybody. She said this story is very personal to her. She sees herself as a needy, and if you don't know, her real name is Brooke, but Diablo Cody is she built up the persona, basically, which many people in Hollywood do, but she did it as a wall. And, you know, I'm not going to go into the whole Juno thing. Everybody knows the story of Juno. She won an Oscar for it, Best Original Screenplay, but a month after Jennifer's Body came out, Diablo had gotten pregnant, which was Perfect. The universe is so funny because as soon as the reviews and everything came out, which she already knew this was not going to be a successful movie, she could feel it. But Diablo pretty much just said like, I'm done, and she took a step back and she had her child and she focused on herself. Megan brings up how had this movie been a smash hit, maybe it would have propelled her further into space, to say she never would have came back. Maybe she never would have had her child and been dealing with all these bozos in the industry. We hear stories like this time and time again. As somebody who wants to be a filmmaker, I can only imagine putting so much energy, putting so much blood, sweat, and tears into a project, being a writer, director, whatever, gathering hundreds of people working on special effects, everything with post-production, animation, special effects, not to mention the millions of dollars that go into these projects. I don't know, people really truly do, sometimes even a decade if it's that big, but the general timeline of making a movie, even before you start filming, a lot of directors and stuff have said in interviews that it's like a 2-year process. Imagine just putting all these years into a project and having it bomb. Like that can really send you into a depression and make you just want to throw the towel in. Apparently there were several talks among the senior executives of 20th Century Fox to make a sequel, which would have had a main antagonist as a bisexual boy who's possessed by an incubus, who would unleash panic by seducing and devouring girls and boys for the devil, though I don't know how true this is given the film's initial bomb, but maybe this was in more recent times, who knows. In 2024, Diablo expressed interest in a sequel, saying, "I'm not done with Jennifer's body. I just need to find a partner. I need to find people who believe in it as much as I do, and that hasn't really happened yet. I need someone to believe in it who has $1 billion." End quote. On me, on some real shit. I ain't lying. Trust and believe. If I had the money, if I had the millions in my account, girl, I would help you out in a heartbeat. I mean, Megan and Amanda said that they both would come back. We need it. We need it. We do. Although I cannot stand Jennifer Check as a character, I don't care what anybody says, this girl is a horrible person, even before the possession. But I suppose you could say it's got to do with being a girl trapped in the patriarchy's gaze. She's consumed with validation from everyone in the world, and needy is the obvious. I do love that Jennifer's possession is like a curse and liberation of some sort. The band sacrificed Jennifer for fame, feeding off of this girl's body for their careers, but she tries to take power back by rising from the dead and only eating boys. All the various nods and flipped gender roles it's fantastic. It's fun. Young women are usually the prey, but this teenage girl is the predator and villain, seducing boys, luring them into vulnerable spaces and consuming them. Although the Jennifer Needy kiss was marketed for frat boy titillation, that was not the intention. This is about Jennifer using intimacy to assert dominance over Needy, who she knows is in love with her. Needy offering Chip her jacket when he's cold. Chip's mother giving him pink spray because there's a maniac killing boys. It's good stuff. I don't know. I'm talking about Jennifer. She was a lost cause, in my opinion. There's a deleted scene right between the scene where Needy does the research in the library and then when she goes to tell Chip about the dance and they break up. There's a scene right in the middle where she confronts Jen in the locker room saying, maybe there's a way to reverse the curse. Telling her that she wants to help her because they're best friends, and Jennifer literally does not care. She's like, being on the rack, that's a curse. Having banana tits like Carrie Flanagan over there, that's a curse. This is not a curse. Then there's the line that was all over the trailers but was not in the actual film. I could have swore I remember this being in the film and I was waiting for it, but I don't know. I guess they just decided not to put it in there.
You're killing people. No, I'm killing boys.
Needy tells Jen she loves her, but she's not going to allow her to kill again. But Jennifer calls it a lose-lose. Jen loses herself, Needy loses Jen, then Needy will have no one. But that's not true, because Needy says that she's got Chip. And this makes a lot of sense why Jennifer went after him, although she was already flirting and, doing small jabs just to stay in some sort of control of Needy. And I couldn't find it. They played a little bit of it in one of the behind the scenes videos that I had watched. And I'm kind of glad they took it out because, I mean, it kind of foreshadows what's going to happen at the end, but I'm pretty sure it's right after she said, in this deleted scene where she said, I'm not going to let you kill again. It cuts to Needy and she's like, I will end you if I have to. And then Jennifer's like, okay. I don't know. I think they cut that damn locker room scene up. I wouldn't have minded the original being in the movie, to be honest. I can't speak much into the weeds of the bond between the women because I feel like that gets into territory of girlhood and competition, which are things that I don't know about being a boy, so I'll leave that up to the women in the comments. I do, however, view this as somewhat of a twisted love story, disguised as horror. The intimacy, jealousy, and blurred attraction are all jumbled together and stronger than any of the straight relationships. Listen, this film is written, directed by, and it stars women. Who the hell appreciates women more than other women and queer people? I'll wait. This is a cult classic now because we've reclaimed it and proved that sometimes the legacy of a film is way more powerful than its premiere. And this film will live on forever in the minds and hearts of the girls, the gays, and ghouls who finally got the joke. What do you think about Jennifer's body? What is your favorite quote? A lot to pick from. I better see them in the comments. What is your favorite quote, favorite moment from this film? If you're new here, give me a like. It helps the channel out a lot. I would appreciate it. If you're not already, consider subscribing. You know, if you're feeling extra froggy, turn on the bell notification so you know when I post a new video. And in the meantime, friends, take care of your mind. Take care of your body. Take care of your spirit.